It's February 28th. Time for more Black Excellence during Black History Month. Let's get it. So today we're talking about another event, and it will be the Amistad Case of 1839. If you don't know, you're about to know. So this is actually a famous lawsuit and court case in American history revolving around slavery. For backstory, in February of 1839, 53 Africans living in Sierra Leone were illegally captured by Portuguese slave traders with the intent to sell them to a Spanish colony in Cuba. They would be transported on the ship the Tacora and land in Havana, Cuba later that year in June. Upon their arrival, two crewmates of their ship La Amistad, Jose Ruiz and Pedro Montes, actually purchased the captives with the intent to resell them to another colony in Cuba. The ship would then depart Havana on June 28, 1839. 4 days later, on July 2nd, captive Joseph Sink freed himself and the other captives and then led a mutiny against the crew of the Amistad, killing the cook and the captain, Ramon Ferrer. Ruiz and Montes would be spared on the demand that they would sail the ship back to Sierra Leone. However, Ruiz and Montes actually sailed the ship up to the northeast and landed off the coast of Long Island, New York on August 26th, where they would be taken into custody by a U.S. Navy ship. Ruiz and Montes would be freed while the Africans were arrested and put in prison in Connecticut. News of the incident spread, and the Spanish embassy actually claimed that the Africans were slaves and demanded they be sent back to Cuba. But this led to a trial in federal court in Hartford, Connecticut. The judge would rule that the Africans were brought to Cuba illegally due to the outlaw on international slave trade. But due to pressure from Southern slaveholders, President Martin Van Buren actually would appeal this upruling to the U.S. Supreme Court. Abolitionist Louis Tappan created the Amistad Committee of New York to become the legal defense for the Africans, and it even included former President John Quincy Adams to help their defense. On March 9, 1841, the Supreme Court would rule in favor of the Africans 7-1, declaring that they were indeed illegally kidnapped. And this is important because this marked the first time a slave of any form won their freedom in the U.S. court system. After the ruling, the Northern abolitionists would raise funds and get together to send the Africans back to Sierra Leone. The Africans would set sail and leave America on November 25th, 1841, and would land in Freetown, Sierra Leone in January of 1842. And this is important to show that you always have a right to fight for your freedom. Tune in tomorrow, guys, for more Black Excellence during Black History Month. Peace.